Guys, what's going on? Black Scout Survival Late Night Live. Thanks for tuning in. So we've been talking about Alan Richon the other day, and he had a new movie coming out called Ungentlemanly Warfare. So apparently it bombed. Good for him. I mean, dude, the last thing you should do before your movie is coming out is go on an anti-conservative tirade. Whenever your movie involved lots of guns and violence, that's probably the last thing you should do. I went over there to his Instagram and saw him just getting hammered by, the thing is that the Reacher, the TV show he's on, is apparently got a large conservative fan base, or had. Also, I remember Dana White just a few weeks ago, he was doing an after fight commentary, and he was saying that he liked Reacher, so it's probably a bad thing to do to just talk trash about your customer base, your demographic, before releasing your new movie. Anyway, so Friday we talked about Snake Mike Johnson. This dude celebrated the Democrats seizing the House, and he pretty much relied on the Democrats, his opposing party, to help push Joe Biden's priority of Ukraine border defense towards a full House vote on Saturday. Yeah. Snake in the grass. Not that. This. So he also helped with warrantless spying on Americans, if you remember that, just the other day too. Now he was up there on stage with Donald Trump, and people were like, Johnson is the man. He's got Trump behind him. The bill to stop illegals from voting, like that, why that should even happen. That shouldn't even be a thing, right? But people were just the MAGA was just, oh, Johnson is our man. He's the man. No, dude, this was a snake. Even Donald Trump's turned on him, apparently. So we have the Biden admin leaving hundreds of U.S. troops hostage in Niger. Meanwhile, the $95 billion aid for Ukraine, Israel, and Taiwan. Now, I do think it's funny that apparently America is planning to sanction some IDF soldiers for something they did, and then you're also giving them money. It doesn't make sense. But he pretty much gave it all over to the Dems, though. He gave up the speaker to the Dems. And during the last few months, we're coming towards elections. This is probably the worst time you could do that, where you give the majority to the Democrats, so that pretty much they have free reign to pass as much laws as they want. They essentially have full control. You're going to see a tidal wave of stuff probably coming through. They're going to probably try to push firearm bans. They're probably going to push Supreme Court justice, adding people to the Supreme Court justice, or justices to the Supreme Court. You're going to see all these things happening over the next few months. And then also they're trying to obviously do this to a bill that would seek removal of Trump's Secret Service detail. Now, you really have to wonder why that would be. So this was basically, if Trump is found guilty, that the Representative Benny Thompson said that he would like to see Donald Trump's Secret Service detail be taken away from that. He wouldn't be eligible for them anymore. Now, but going back, but why do you think they want that to happen coming into election? Not to have Secret Service detail? Fishy, huh? But going back to the money, the Democrats, and on Friday, let me stop real quick. On Friday, I mentioned that you can't trust any politicians. You can't, because there's politicians and the people. It's true. Now, but Democrats are truthfully trying to destroy the country. Okay, they're out to do that. Democrats are more worried about funding Ukraine's border than your own. I mean, look at this. They're waving Ukraine flags in the Capitol. Now, the people that were waving American flags in the Capitol on J6 are in jail, right? The people that are waving American flags are in jail, but they got, I mean, what country are we looking at? What capital is this? The only reason why I would see this many people waving another country's flag is because they're getting stock options. with Lockheed Martin, Halliburton, you name it. But this is a government that hates you right here. That's what this is. So this is what you call America Last. Now, again, why do you think they would try to take Trump's Secret Service detail? They're losing badly. Joe Biden's losing badly. Even Stephen A. Smith, who hated Trump vocally before, listen to him here now. The NAACP's even going after Stephen Smith. It's crazy.
Tell you something. As much as people may have been abhorred by Donald Trump's statement weeks ago, talking about how black folks, he's hearing that black folks find him relatable because what he's going through is similar to what black Americans have gone through. He wasn't lying. He was telling the truth. When you see the law enforcement, the court system, and everything else being exercised against him, it is something that black folks throughout this nation can relate to with some of our historic, iconic figures. We've seen that happen throughout society. So no matter what race, what ethnicity you may emanate from, we relate to you when you're suffering like that because we know we have. And that's what he articulated.
The man isn't wrong. And the good thing is a lot of people's waking up to this nonsense because that's what it is. And what he's speaking to is something that was done by the Democrats to push minority votes their way, right? So you disassemble the family unit, remove the father, put him in prison. Now you have a mother with kids. She's now dependent upon the system because father was removed from home, destroy the nuclear family on the government. The government's like, no, we'll take care of you. We put your husband in prison, but we'll take care of you. Okay. We'll make it easy for them to go to prison, but we'll take care of you. And guess what? We'll incentivize you to have more children. Okay. More future voters. This is a tactic they use. You want to talk about oppression? This is true oppression. This is actually what's going on. What's going on, John? Good to see you, brother. Biden's White House slogan is every man left behind. It's not a lie. Thanks, brother. It's not a lie. Joseph, they think they're Ukrainians. I mean, dude, I just can't believe that you see that many of another country's flags in the Capitol. It's absolutely insane. It's crazy. Now let's talk about the big story tonight. You remember the other week we talked about ATF murder, Malinowski. He was shot on March 19th when ATF agents attempted to serve a search warrant at his home. He was 53 years old. He was wounded during the gunfire exchange with agents and died days later. Now you have to think, why would such a well-to-do man get into a gunfight with ATF agents? Well, it comes to find out here that and now they're saying Arkansas senator says Clinton airport executive. Now the thing is that a lot of people think he has a connection to Hillary and Bill Clinton. The airport he worked at was just named after them. He has no connection. And I would venture to say this dude was a conservative with this many firearms, being a firearm advocate. The things he's doing had to be a conservative. For the ATF to come after him had to be a conservative. But violation of his own policy of not having a body camera. So the thing is, the ATF adopted the policy that you must wear a body camera after the Breonna Taylor. You remember when that was going on, the riots and stuff like that. So anytime they have to execute search warrants, they have to wear body cams. Just so happens this day they don't, right? This was another 6 a.m. knock, who's there raid, okay? And his brother says that they didn't just knock and said, ATF. They busted down his door. Now, this is the same thing that's been happening with these other murders. The 70-something-year-old man that could barely walk. He walked with a walker. They drove an MRAP through his home at 6 a.m. The veteran, the 27-year-old veteran that lived with his mom, same thing, came in and destroyed the house. They come in, no body cam. They come in with no body cam. Again, these federal agencies, no body cam. They cut the cameras. The J6 guy, he was a business owner. I remember he had a nice white Bronco. I remember that. But he was a business owner, went to his house. They got him at work, but they came into his house. They disabled the cameras before they came in his house, pointed firearms at his pregnant wife. Now, this is the one that they had called the Liberty Safe Company and got the codes to get into the safe, if you recall. So they do these 6 a.m. I saw another one. A guy, he was not home. He was on a business trip. They went to his home at 6 a.m., woke his wife. Kids are crying. She had a Ring doorbell camera. Thank God. Because we wouldn't even know about this. But they do these 6 a.m.s. And so like this guy's, Malinowski's brother says, he thought it was obviously someone breaking in his home. He was trying to defend himself. Wouldn't you? Somebody comes kicking in your door at 6 a.m. and they're not saying anything. They're probably wearing plain clothes. What would you do? I mean, really? So there's no reason they couldn't have arrested him at work. Most police, whenever they serve a warrant or what have you, they serve you with papers or whatever, they do it at your work because more than likely you're not armed, or they'll do it driving. I've known guys who are driving, they'll pull you over. You think you're just getting a speeding ticket. Next thing you know is the DOJ, right? So for them to come in your home at 6 a.m. unannounced, not who's there, what do you think is going to happen, right? Again, it also seems odd. His brother said that I can't imagine that my brother would be entangled with the law. He was well connected in Arkansas. He had a salary over $250,000 a year. He lived in a very big, nice house and had collections of guns, coins, watches, and such. And his brother said, when someone makes this much money, there's no incentive for you doing crime, right? Unless you were a criminal and that's how you attain the money, there's no sense of you backtracking for a life of crime. It just does not make sense. That's why I don't believe it. I looked high and low on this guy. I have for the past 2 months. I really can't find anything about him. As a matter of fact, the airport has totally removed anything about the guy. You can't find anything about him. I wanted to find his political affiliation. I wanted to find out what groups he was part of, because there's something so odd about this. Now, what they say is he was under investigation for allegedly selling firearms without a license. Now, state to state is different, but in you know, I know that they're trying to twist it up where you can, like, this just came about that you have to have a FFL for so many or what have you. But in my state, typically, dude, you can go, you can go on like the gun trader thing. We have something called a Carolina Trader here. You look in there, you'll meet somebody down at the gas station and buy a firearm. It's been like that since I was a kid, right? But apparently some of these firearms were used in crimes. So they say. We don't know. I mean, I hope this family has got attorneys. I do. I hope they're working on this, because one, the no body cam, dude, when it's your policy, that just stinks to high heaven. You don't have a body cam. You don't want anybody to see what's going on. Like, to me, it was a hit squad. What did he know? That's what I want to know. What did he know and about who? Could it be about the Clintons? Could be. I guarantee this video will get flagged for me even saying that name, right? Between May 2021 and February 2024, Malinowski allegedly purchased more than 150 guns, which he then allegedly resold. Some of them, not all of them, some of them. What is the problem with purchasing 150 guns over the course of 3 or 4 years? I don't see the problem. I know guys with much more than that, a bigger collection than that. This stinks, dude. It smells fishy. Any of you guys are in that area that know this guy, please like leave a comment, hit us up, email us. I want to know. I want to know what this guy was into. What did he know? Did he make a Facebook post like the 70-year-old man that they drug out in the street after they popped him? I mean, that's all that dude did. He made a couple memes, literal memes. They put the one kid in prison for memes. The YouTuber that made the video about the card, he's in jail. You can't even say anything anymore. If you're a opposition, they're going to dig until they get something on you. I think it's odd. And the veteran that was the 27-year-old veteran that lived with his mom, the dude didn't even have a firearm. Mom says he didn't even own a firearm. They busted and tore up the house because he posted something on Facebook. He was conservative, veteran. I think he was going to college part-time and work part-time. What did he post? Right? It doesn't make sense. Social media is a big part of this. That's why I was hoping that I could find this guy's social media so I could see what happened. And the thing is that they're embedded in all the social media platforms. They're embedded. They're checking it. I mean, Johnson just helped pass this warrantless search. They're looking at everything. They're looking at everything you do. And again, dude, they can listen to you. A lot of people are like, well, I'm not on this, I'm not on that. Dude, they'll listen. They can find you. Look, I've heard from reputable guys, you can be out in the freaking woods naked with the dude talking. And I'm saying naked because you won't have any kind of wires or anything. Not any naked and afraid stuff. But you're out in the woods, they can still listen to if they want to. They can hear it. If they want you, they're gonna get it, dude. That's how it is. The government. And thanks to Johnson, they just passed this. Edward Snowden blew up about it. But it's kind of like how they throttle. I was talking about this YouTube years ago, where the Facebook, I keep saying Facebook because Facebook's the devil. The YouTube CEO was saying, we'll throttle the view count, we'll throttle the subscriber count to kind of demoralize the creator. Now, this guy, this is funny. I like this comment because he says something that I always say. Yeah, I've been subscribed since you were fire starting, and now I've been unsubscribed for the first time. I thought you were saying people were getting unsubscribed for attention. Now I know it's real. Listen, I don't say anything for attention, dude. I don't need to. People always say that. They're like, oh, you're just saying that because you're trying to get. I don't have to say that. I have no need to say that. I don't really care. I really don't care. I'm not trying to be Ben Shapiro, dude. I don't care. But the fact is that he said, I've been with you since the fire started. The funny thing is I always say that. I always say the fire, like we used to do so much of that content, like survival content. And it's just really a pain to film. It really is. Because nothing goes your way, dude. The thing is, like, when you're filming it, like me and Jase filming it, like we'll have Murphy's Law, dude. Everything that can go wrong will. Like we'll be doing a friction fire, start raining. It's supposed to be sunny. You know, you can't rub sticks together in wet environment, dude. You can't make fire. I mean, you can, but it's very, very difficult. That's why one video we were doing, one of the friction fire videos, like I'm like pouring sweat by then because I was there for like an hour and a half trying to get this because it got wet. And dude, it's almost virtually impossible. But the funniest thing is I always say the fire starting. Whenever I'm talking to Jay, like, yeah, man, the fire starting days. So it's funny. Anyway, Andy, thanks, man. Wendy, thanks. Man, you got notified, Mike Yu. This is like your first time, I think, right? Mike Yu's a member. He's a paid tribe member. And he says this first time. Mike Yu's been with us for a long time. Years. And he's just now got notification. I follow myself, guys, and I don't get notified till 2 or 3 days later if I get notified. You know, some people get notified every time, but I think if you're getting notified every time, it's probably because they got you as like you cannot be swayed. You're so stuck in your ways that it's just not even going to matter, you know. Anyway, I do appreciate you guys hanging out with me. And again, man, if anybody knows anything about this Malinowski guy, I would love to know. Please hit us up. Leave us a comment, man. If you know something, pin it. Even if it's just something you think that may not be important, it may be something that we can actually look into. Is you or isn't you born and bred in Carolina? You must not. I'm not sure if you're talking to me. Sorry, I was reading with the comments. All right, guys. Thanks so much for hanging out. Make sure you leave a comment, like, share. And John, thanks, buddy. I'm going to try to get John on here this week, man. We're going to try to schedule something for this week. and get him on here. He's a good dude. So go check him out as well. And guys, we're going to stay frosty, stay strapped, and always stay dangerous. Thanks, Dean. Take care.